Hi, it's the Love Guru Blaire. I hope that you can see me okay. Um, and I hope you can hear me okay. I don't know how my internet connection is out here. Anyway, I wanted to make a video. It's been quite some time that I've made a video, or really done many things in to put myself out there, to express myself. I was thinking about that the other day. I used to write blog posts all the time, and I used to channel information on my blog, and then I was doing a radio show for a while, and then I was making videos for a while, and just feel like things are brewing within me. I've really taken a lot of time just to go within and to complete certain cycles for myself. And what I wanted to talk about today is actually over the last year, and this is from April 2014 to 2015, I have been doing a lot of closing of healing family cycles, family karma, childhood wounds. And this has been like a really long journey. I shared with you guys before, I started working one-on-one with my own healer back in 2006. And around that time, well, at that time, I don't even remember so much what we spoke about, but I was working with her on a monthly basis, and then like a bi-monthly basis, and we were going into just healing. Just basically, when you go out into the world and you're living your life, most people are living wearing masks, presenting themselves as their fake self. And people don't even realize this. It's just, you grow up and you go through survival and you develop these certain personality traits, certain ways of being, certain ways of acting, certain ways of thinking, because you have been trained to think that way or to be that way. You've basically been brainwashed. And, I've been talking about this on maybe not so much on this channel. I think it kind of covers all my work, is talking about breaking out of that matrix, stepping out of old programming and getting into a place of being empowered. I did it a lot on my other YouTube channel, but I've taken those videos down since, because I was talking a lot about current news stories, Illuminati stuff, and that was the mass brainwashing that we have, the mass programming. So like I said, over this last year, I've really been, this was the time period that I connected with my star brother, aka aliens. People call it aliens, but they're star beings. We're human beings, they're star beings, no big deal. And really, in the end, we're all star beings, okay? We all come from different solar systems, planets. We all come from the sky, we all come from different systems. We're just here on Earth learning and developing and evolving our soul. So anyway, a year ago, Zeke, my star brother, when I connected with him, which I never had any interest in aliens before, I connected with them. I felt the star beings around me. And then Zeke, which his full name is Ezekiel, or I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's like that's like a Bible term. And I was thinking about that the other day too. I'm not even familiar with the Bible. That has never been of interest to me. I never studied that. I wasn't brought up in a church. I'm Jewish, and even that, I just had no background of different things found in religion, basically. So it was just interesting that his name was Ezekiel. His name is Ezekiel. I call him Zeke for short. And when I first met him, he told me, document what we talk about. I didn't know it was going to be a year. I didn't know how long it was going to be. And plenty of times, it got annoying. it's time for me to be on my path and be sharing with the world my teachings and all the stuff that I have learned, and that he was a distraction to me, because it keeps you out in the ethers, you know, but he served his purpose. You know, he helped me get fully in my power, you know, be able to step it up, and to really what happened through this last year, and again, this is what I wanted to talk about. I get a little sidetracked with different things. I just go with the flow. I share. I never know what I'm going to share with these videos, but what I was going to say is that the cycles for me, so many cycles or so many endings are happening right now. They have been happening. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time for these old chapters to close. They happen in phases. And I've been getting a lot of signs over the last month or so, and a lot over the last 2 weeks, just a lot of things closing down, a lot of cycles ending. And I've been in both worlds for a while, meaning my old life and my new life. And it's more and more in my new life, how I've recreated myself, and what I'm stepping into, the opportunities, and I'm stepping into my dreams. And so what I wanted to share is that I've just been feeling really grateful lately, because like I said, Zeke told me to document our connection and to share my story with that, to write it in a book that I am going to be sharing with you guys. If you want to read it, you know, eventually it'll be up for sale and out into the world. And I would have never documented that if he didn't tell me. And he told me I was going to make it into a book, and he gave me a vision of the future, of what was going to happen with it. And so I'm feeling grateful for him for sharing that, grateful for me following the guidance, and also now grateful because as over this last year, it has been very intense with healing childhood wounds, the completed cycles of it, because like I said, I started working on this stuff in 2006. You know, I'm one of the way showers in this, so I'm one of the forerunners, and it's taken some time. Now my students, my clients who come after me, it takes less time to clear these things, because those of us who go before, we lead the way, and you know, once the portals get open, we're able to collapse the time of my life up until this point has been healing that stuff, reclaiming my true self, stepping into my power. And now the next part of my life is going to be living the life of my dreams, living a life in total creation, because that's what happens when you clear karma, when you clear these cycles, you are free. And I'll tell you, sometimes that is a little bit of a weird experience. I was going through that a lot the last couple of months, and sometimes it still comes up a little bit now, but when you are not programmed to do your day-to-day, and I'm not going to be able to explain this all in this video, but when you're not in that programmed state, you're kind of in a place of, okay, what do I do today? And what do I want to do? Oh, I could actually do whatever I want. And again, this goes into like much deeper layers, but it's a little bit of a weird experience, because you're just in this space. You're in this space of anything is possible. So I've been feeling grateful that, and again, this is what I wanted to talk about in this video. I keep getting sidetracked because clearly I need to share other stuff here too. But when you complete healing your childhood wounds, and when you complete family karma, that if you don't work on, it haunts every area of your life. And again, you go through the period of not even knowing on how it affects your life, to realizing how it affects your life and being upset about it, to on that path to healing it. And so now that I am at the close of these cycles, at the end of healing family karma, at the end of healing multi-generational wounding, at the end of healing these childhood wounds, at the close of all these cycles, the gift that Spirit gives you is that you don't even remember them anymore. Your memory is cleared. That is so awesome and weird, right? Isn't that like, that's like that movie, The Spotless Mind something, whatever that movie's called, on how, who was in that movie, that Jim Carrey guy? He wanted to erase this relationship from his mind. It's an interesting movie. I might watch that movie again. But he wanted, so he went to this scientist to clear it for him. Well, so isn't that interesting? When you do the healing work, when you go through the journey and then you complete it, you know, you see it through, that's the gift that Spirit gives you, that they wash your mind. So basically what it is that I have memories of what has happened to me, but they're kind of distant memories. It's kind of hard to explain. The charge is not there. Sometimes it will come up, but again, like I said, I'm closing the cycle. But for the most part, it's like I can't even remember. It's not, again, it's hard to explain, but I can't really remember what has happened, what my family members have done to me, you know, whatever the story is. I can't really remember those situations. I have to kind of sit for a little bit. I have to think about it, and it's just not taking up the space that it used to. The triggers are not there. Like I said, they still sometimes will come up, but I'm closing out the cycle. It's kind of like the old tentacles sometimes will pop up, whatever needs to be cleared, but it's just like, whatever. And it's interesting because I'm at a place that I don't have the relationship that I used to have with my parents, or any of my family members. I'm actually almost completely disconnected from all of my past life. So what that means is no family. That's it. They're all done. So it's like we might have interactions, but there's really no interest there. There's no interest, and there's not like the anger really either. It's just like I see them for who they are. That's who they are. And I'm grateful for the lessons that they taught me. They put me on my path in this world. They played the role that they were supposed to play. You know, in the end, we're all playing roles for one another. We're all playing parts for one another. But you got to get through the gunk. So that, you know, that's what I wanted to share. I just wanted to share that how I'm just feeling grateful, and how your mind ends up being cleared. That these things of your past don't even matter. And it's really like having, it's being reborn. You know, I know people, I don't really know fully what that means when people in the Christian faith say I've been reborn. I think it has to do, actually, I think it has to do with like you're claiming Christ as your savior or something. I don't even know what that means. But, you know, Jesus is my friend. He's a great healer. He's a friend. Not really, you know, I mean, if you've been watching my videos, Martin Luther King is my boy, and Moses is one of my friends. Those, I mean, I work with different ascended masters. But in any event, you know, Jesus is all within there. But the point here is that you get reborn. So rather than being a child in this world and having to go through X, Y, and Z situation, you end up being whatever age you are and you end up walking out into the world and seeing it with like such fresh eyes. So I'm in the process of moving to New York City. It's been a several-month process because I'm doing it very consciously. I've had to adjust my energy and then readjust it, and it's constantly raising my energy to a new level. And now my guides are taking me through some very interesting lessons having to do with abundance and prosperity, and where I have, again, in the past been settling for something that where I was keeping myself in a smaller state that I just really don't need to be. So I've constantly been upgraded. So I'm taking my time. It's taking a little bit longer than I would expect. Again, when you're in the programmed state, you are okay. So let's take New York City as an example. When you're in a programmed state, you're saying, okay, I make this amount of money, and this is the type of place I can get. And the way also that New York works is that there's a lot of settling going on for the type of place that you live in. So, it's kind of like a weird experience, like I said, I mean, like you guys know, I've been out of the area for several years, and you come back into New York, and it's really kind of funny and weird what people get excited about in the city. It's totally like this kind of false, it's a weird experiment kind of thing, meaning like you don't have a washer and dryer in all your units. I mean, again, it depends on what you're paying, but most people don't have a washer and dryer in their apartments. Well, most people. I mean, I guess it depends on who you're surveying, right? People get excited about having laundry in their building. So, that's a minor example, but it's an example. Some units don't have a bathtub in the place. Some units don't have a dishwasher in the place. So a lot of places are kind of dark. They don't have bright windows. Some places you're looking directly at a building. I need to look at trees. I need to be by the park. I need to be by nature. So there's things that, so it's kind of weird what people, again, get excited about or what they settle for having to do with their apartment. And then also, apartments go really quick, supposedly. I don't live in that reality, but this is the old programming. So apartments go somewhat quick in New York. One becomes available. It goes the same day. You gotta put in an application, which is like $100. You need to put in a deposit. You need to put in first month, last month, whatever. You need to show your bank statements. You need to show 40 times the rent. You need to show, that you make 40 times the rent. You need to show your bank statements. You need to show your tax return. You need to show, I don't know, whatever kind of craziness. So it's just kind of funny, the whole thing. And you would see most people, they see an apartment they like, or it's somewhat okay. I was looking at an apartment yesterday, and it was very bright, which was great. It was right at the park, which was awesome. It was a great location, which I liked. An elevator building. That's the thing too. People get excited about an elevator. Not every, a lot of buildings are walk-up. Sometimes people are living on the 4th or 5th floor of a walk-up building, which I think is ridiculous. But, people settle for all those things. I'm not going to go into the thing about the apartment yesterday. It doesn't matter. But a lot of times people will just, like, jump on these opportunities. Even though it's not perfect, even though it's not everything that they want, people will jump on the opportunity. And I don't live in that space anymore. So, again, it's just a really interesting journey. And you can get everything that you want. You really, truly can get everything you want. And that's what my guides are taking me through now, the learning. Again, seeing where I have been settling, and it's been really interesting, kind of blowing my mind of like, wow, I didn't realize on how small I was playing it, or how I was accepting these things, even though I didn't really realize that I was accepting these things or settling these things on how I really was. So my old self, when I saw the apartment yesterday, I would have jumped on it. Oh, I'll take it, even though it was maybe a little bit too sunny, even though maybe it was a little bit too hot in there. The air conditioning didn't start working yet because it was a unit that they don't have it already built in. You know, I want a nicer unit. And it didn't have a full kitchen, which I like cooking, so I need a full kitchen. But the old me would have hopped on that. And people have. You know, I spoke to the guy who was showing me the apartment, and he already has like 3-4 people interested in it that they're going to move forward with. So the point is that I'm doing this very consciously, and that's the life that you get to step into. You get to put yourself out there, experience certain things about life, and then you get to adjust and say, hey, well, for me, I've been like, hey, I want to upgrade. Everything that I'm about is like, let me upgrade. Let me make myself better. Let me get a better life. Let me keep on going for the gold. And then once I get the gold, let me go higher. And that's what my work is about. So anyway, that's the story for today. I am taking on some private clients at this time. If you're interested in working with me, you can visit loveguru.net. Thanks. Bye-bye. How do I turn this off? I don't know.